my mom that there are certain Sangats which also have a good impact, a positive impact on you. And whenever you talk about places, I don't think you can claim to know a place just because you've lived there. I don't think you can claim to know a place just because you've done business there for decades. I think you can claim to know a place only and only when you know the people there. And today, the idea is to introduce and showcase people who so deeply connect present to the world that come here. We have a so the first speaker we have today is I'm not going to introduce anybody here, right? So I'm just going to share what I learned from them through my interactions with them. He's somebody who's been places and serves something that is so close to the soul of Nizamabad. And by now you would have guessed it. Yes, I'm talking about food, right? So please put your hands together as I invite on stage somebody whose name is slowly fading out because he's building a brand by the name Mama.
A very good evening to all. I should begin by thanking Harish, Thai Nizamabad for this fantastic evening and having all these dignitaries here. I am delighted to be included among all you stalwarts here. I am Satish. I was born to a teacher mother and a doctor father. The childhood was very good. I was brought up with values of sincerity and hard work. But there was one thing that my father used to always teach me. He used to say, run, walk. Because 1999-98 was the period when people used to say, kuch nahi kar raha to computers kara do, you will do something. So computers happened, computer programming. With some connections, good connections, I landed a job at Maharshi Veda Vision in their Noida office for their switching of DOS-based Jyotish packaged programs to Visual Basic interface. Few months there, and then I was handpicked by them to be sent to their head office at Falkenberg, Netherlands. Life was all set. Being a programmer in 1999-2000 was premium. But then, after 2 months, their business management team had approached me and asked me to join business management for expanding their business throughout Europe. It was an unexpected move in my life, but as my father used to say, I was prepared and I decided. Being a programmer would have given me stability, a blue collar and whatnot. But then something inside me said, yeah, I need to travel. So I took up business management, traveled length and breadth of Europe, organizing events like these, meeting new people, which enriched me with experience. Life was set, that's what I was thinking. But then when I was planning to choose between blue card, permanent resident permit at Europe, or to go to US with join friends, that was when life comes up with its own design. My mother was with cancer, and they did not inform me about this, but she was diagnosed with cancer, and doctor said she has only 3 months. So the call was difficult. I had to come back again. That was homecoming 1. Coming back and fighting with cancer was not an easy in those days, especially. CICI and eventually at HDFC Bank in senior management. Life was all set again. That's what I thought. But then 10-12 years flew by, and one fine day my wife, who was also very socially active, she wanted to do something for some single mothers. So she said, with all these years I have been supporting you now, so it's your turn. So it was a natural call, and something that you should be doing for a reason to give back to society. And we sat together, we worked out. It was not an easy decision to make again, to start something at this point of life. We took about all the considerations, did a lot of research, and then I was very sure about our organizational skills and our cooking skills. So that is brand name Mama acronym for Maharashtrian Masala was born, where apart from serving healthy, hygienic and nutritious dishes, we also single mothers and struggling housewives who are putting up a fight with their life. Coming back to the business points, Maharashtrian food has a nutritious, the unorganized food sector is around 64% and Maharashtrian cuisine has only about 7% of it as of now, so it has an immense potential to expand and grow. We started off as targeting the target group. The TG was only the Maharashtrian localities or the Maharashtrian establishments, but we are happy to receive a response from a lot of fraternity. I have many customers here as well. So these all encouraged us to plan better. The vision going forward is to plan for franchisees to take the franchise model and spread our wings. We have around 4% of customers returning back to us, rated 4.5 on Google reviews for our tastes. So the journey probably is on, and I would like to conclude by thanking Harish, Ravish and Bharat for including me to showcase this small ecstatic journey which has just begun and has miles to go. I end with a simple line which my mother used to say, कि संगत अच्छी हो तो परिणाम अच्छे आते हैं. Thank you, Sangat. Thank you for taking me inside. Thank you so much.
Chartered accountant for the last 20 years in Nizamabad, and I'm here to share my journey with everyone. My journey starts with my father's journey. At the age of 16 in the year 1961, he had a decision to make, to stay in a small village in Maharashtra with a family of 12 people dependent on a kirana store and do some accounting works, or to shift somewhere else and do something on his own. So he decided to come to Nizamabad. Nizamabad because it was a hub for BDs and BD leaves, and there were a lot of employment opportunities associated with it. So he came to Nizamabad literally bare-handed, and he had nothing except his hard work and courage to do something in life. He started working as a manager in a small BD factory, and he worked hard day and night. And he was, in another 20 years from there, he was the owner of a BD factory. He raised us in that way. He did all the hard work, and me and my sister were given a very stable financial background and the best possible education available in the town. I was good in academics, but I was definitely inspired by my father and his business. So I was taking care of the business of BDs and BD leaves along with my college. I was like literally ready to take over the business and take it to the new heights along with my father. But then we say destiny throws something different at you. So in the graduation, I got the district first rank, and my parents wanted me not to go for business but to do my further studies. Being a Gujarati and being from a business community, I thought of doing the chartered accountancy course. One, because it was inexpensive, and the second, because it was connected to my business. So I started doing the chartered accountancy course in the year 2000, and I worked hard. There was accounting knowledge that I had, and I was associated practically with the business. So that helped me a lot. And with the hard work, I was able to clear the CA exams in the first attempt, and to top it up, I got an All India rank. I secured an All India rank in the chartered accountancy exam. The chartered accountancy result, the All India rank, then threw a challenge at me. Like, I was getting good offers from various MNCs, but for that I had to leave Nizamabad and I had to do something else which I did not want to do. So I decided on a strange thing of starting my own practice in Nizamabad. It was not very easy because I came from a non-CA background, and starting the practice without any files in hand was literally very hard. But I took that decision because I wanted to stay with my parents and do my practice in Nizamabad. So I stayed back and started my practice, and I had the added responsibility because I was married then in the year 2004. So I started my practice and it was really very hard. The first 4 to 5 months were very, very tough, and I had started repenting the decision of starting my practice. At that time, this good old BD connection helped me a lot. Being associated with the BD industry, I was having good knowledge of central excise and service tax matters. So I started my consulting as a central excise and service tax consultant, and I was a sole consultant. I was a lone consultant in Nizamabad who was dealing in this. So this brought about a lot of
Inspiring. And you know what? He completed his CA in 2.5 years. And I thought it was not even possible because I know people who have been doing that for the last 23.5 years. So Amrish bhai, I don't know, we would surely like to know what do you eat for breakfast, right? Thank you so much. Now, our next speaker, be very careful, he could be extremely offensive to a lot of people. And the reason, I'll talk about that a little later once he's done talking. So he's going to be hurting a few egos today. And we signed up for this deliberately. So put your hands together for Dr. Revant from Nizamabad. He has a beautiful story.
Hello everyone, good evening. Today I'm going to share my hair-raising story with you all. My journey started when my dad got his first hair transplantation done in the year 2004. He was very happy with the procedure and he said that it had a very good future. My dad getting a hair transplantation done during that time made me think about other fields other than orthopedics, which was the obvious choice for me considering my dad is an orthopedician in Nizamabad for the past 25 years. I decided to join dermatology. Personally, I felt that it had a lot of untapped potential. I did my post-graduation from Davangere, Karnataka and did my DNB from Nanavati Hospital, Mumbai. And then I did a 1-year fellowship in Pune on hair transplantation. After finishing my degree and fellowships, I had to decide where I should start my practice. Many of my friends and family members suggested that I shift to Hyderabad for my practice. But since I wanted to live with my parents and I knew that in Nizamabad it had a potential because no one at that time was doing the services I wanted to offer. So I decided Nizamabad to be a place of my practice, and we set up a complete skin and hair transplant center. My motto was to provide a comprehensive care for my patients so that they don't have to go anywhere else for the treatments. Right now I'm in my 8th year of my practice, and I should say that I'm overwhelmed with the kind of response and support I got from the people of Nizamabad. And we are really proud to say that we have opportunity to serve more than 25,000 patients and to do more than 600 transplants. One incident will actually change my perspective towards hair transplant. One of my cousins who went bald was living in the US. He came to India to get a hair transplantation done. So when I saw him, I was not very keen to do a hair transplantation because he was not the ideal candidate for hair transplantation. And of course, he was my first cousin. I didn't want to take a chance. But then he insisted, and I did a hair transplantation on him. After I saw him after a year, when he had come for his marriage, I was awestruck with the kind of response and the transformation which happened in him. Seeing him and many others transforming their looks and transforming their lives with hair transplantation made me realize that hair transplantation is my passion. So I really wanted to excel in it. But when COVID hit, my cosmetic practice and my consultations were maintained, but my hair transplantation practice took a hit. That is when me and my wife decided that in order to do well in hair transplantation, we have to have a setup in Hyderabad. But I should say that Nizamabad would always be my mother clinic, and I'm really happy with the kind of support I got from my parents, my wife and my entire team. And I would like to close with a quote by Kobe Bryant: rest at the end, not in the middle. Thank you so much, and I thank Kai Nizamabad for giving me this opportunity to share my story.
Good evening everyone, I am Simranjeet Singh, here to represent my company, which is PATC Cargo Carrier. The foundation of my company was laid by my grandfather Sardar Bachan Singh Ji, who was born in a village called Jodhpur, which is 30 kilometers from Amritsar, Punjab. Being the eldest in the family, he had the responsibility of taking care. So coming from not so well-to-do family, he had to move to Assam for work purposes. In Assam, he learned how to drive a truck, And after spending a few years, he did not see any good opportunity there. So after listening about Nizamabad, he decided to move to Nizamabad in the year 1958, where he purchased his first ever truck. And then Nizamabad was a great BD manufacturing hub. Tendu leaves are required for the manufacturing of BD. These leaves can only be procured from the jungles of Balarsha, which is 300 kilometers from here. So he decided to ply his trucks on this route. Seeing a great potential in this route, he decided to bring his family back from Punjab to Nizamabad to help him out in this business. So now, accompanied by his younger brother and other family members, he grew the size of fleet he had. But in the year 1994, there was a family division, and as a result, we have decreased the number of trucks we owned. So now we had to venture in some other business. But Nizamabad didn't discourage us. Nizamabad is a major producer of paddy seeds, turmeric, dry mango powder, jawar and bajra. So now we decided to become a mediator between the fleet owners and the people who are manufacturing or supplying these kind of products. Then in the year 1994, we were shipping around 180,000 tons of these goods annually. But by the year ending 2022, we had already shipped around 8 lakh tons of goods in that particular year. You know, our business model can be compared to Ola and Uber, wherein you do not own any taxi or any vehicle of your own, but they are today's public major giants in the country, and Uber, you know, as well in the world. So some of the major milestones achieved by us during our journey was we were awarded as the best transporter for 4 consecutive years by MICO, which is amongst the top 10 seed companies in India. Second, we were awarded as the best transporter by the Telangana state government for distribution of tree saplings across the state under its tree distribution program, which is called as Telangana Ko Harikla Haram. Third, we were recognized by the Telangana state government for the distribution of sheep under their sheep distribution program. Fourth, again we were awarded as the best transporter for 5 consecutive years by Nahar Group. You know, this company owns the clothing apparel brand called Monte Carlo. So down the line, we have also ventured into petrol pump business, which we have started in the year 2020, and have already established its name in the state. Apart from this, Nizamabad has not discouraged at any point of time to us. So I would like to conclude my speech by saying Nizamabad has something for everybody. So come, do invest and prosper. Thank you.
From being a student, taking tuitions, helping dad with accounts in his marble and granite business, along with managing household chores with my mom and grandmom in my hometown Udaipur, to being a homemaker and a working woman is here to present the story. Being passionate about what I was doing and learn exploring new and challenging things helped me secure state ranks in my 10th and 12th standards and university second in my post-graduations. Growing up in a Marwadi joint family, I learned the importance of listening to and learning from elders. Despite facing personal tragedy and being on a brink of a depression, I found the strength within myself and pursue my goals. Become an independent person to whom everyone looks forward for friendship and guidance. I was preparing for my company secretary's final, and as it is said, destiny has something different in the store for everyone. An unexpected start of a new chapter in my life, with new city, new culture, new people, new language, and the old me. I was quite nervous at that time because my status has been changed from the daughter to the daughter-in-law, and that too first in my generation. My life would be just confined to taking responsibilities of household, attending social gatherings, taking care of everyone, etc. I was quietly settling, giving support to my family, building their new venture called Architect Studio. Simultaneously, a new phase of my life was waiting for me. Daughter, and with their support and my previous experience of handling multiple roles helped me bounce back. Krishna, my husband asked to join the new flourishing business of RK. At that point of time, I understood the real meaning of Jai Shri Krishna, which I always utter. Currently at RK, I handle accounting and the sales team, helping them deliver the results for the business with prime focus to earn the customer trust and maintain the goodwill and reputation. I wish to see RK venturing into different segments apart from tiles, marble and granite. Nizamabad is the ideal place to be, where everything is nearby, and with its diverse culture, it was possible for me to balance my multiple roles as a mother, a daughter, not the in-law, as a friend and as a working woman. I was able to become an entrepreneur, not just because I dreamt about it, it's because I worked towards it. Similarly, in life, dream is just the start. It can only be achieved if you start working towards it. Thank you and Jai Shri Krishna.
You keep praying and focus towards it, and one day it happens. So thank you so much, Nikita. Fantabulous story, and I know the most beautiful chapters are yet to be written. Okay, so with that, we have heard stories of from Nizamabad, and I know you're going to take a little time to process it. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. I know I'm coming from Hyderabad, so when I say 10-minute, people tend to treat it as 35 minutes, but no. I am in Nizam break. We're going to serve some tea, coffee. Enjoy that, and there are some more amazing stories coming your way. So 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back to Sangath 2023. Thank you.
Beautiful journey, literally and figuratively. I've been moving to places starting from Sri Lanka to Chennai, Nizamabad, Hyderabad, Gulbarga, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, back to Nizamabad. A lot of places. We had to move to Nizamabad in the year 2006 when my grandfather denied after the sudden demise of my grandmother. He just loved his friends and business too much to move from Nizamabad. Living with family, we all know we are shielded from reality. So when I went to engineering and when I saw my peers working, studying and supporting their family at the same time, made me realize how fortunate I was. Few things I had picked up then. Number one, hardships of life. And number two, along with engineering degree, what also matters is getting accustomed to real life lessons. After MBA, I decided to do community service. That's when I landed in Mumbai. I worked with a foundation named Date with Ocean, which is run by a very famous environmentalist named Afroz Shah. The foundation's work was related to plastic pollution, handling plastic waste. The foundation was expanding big time, and looking at my work, I was asked to join as a member rather than continue with the community service. So there it was, a call to take, Mumbai, Nizamabad. Growing up, watching my father leave everything for his father, the call was easy for me. Nizamabad it is. Yes, I was back in Nizamabad, clueless of what sustainable business I'll find here. Through Thai Network, I met Ravish and Ajit, and hence, thanks to my dad for being a member of Thai. And hence the start of Farm Chakra. As the name sounds, we are into farming business. We take lands on lease and grow crops using sustainable practices. Our goal is to grow crops residue free and that comply export quality. Thanks to Shravya for being the catalyst in our journey. She helped us expand 5x in no time. Her big vision and everyone's tireless efforts made it happen. One can imagine work life with co-founders from SP Jain, BITS and IIT. It's never been easy, but constantly working on myself and with help from all the co-founders. Finally, there's something that Sadhguru said and it stuck with me. He said, you may have an MBA degree or any tech degree for that matter, but pick a crop, go on the soil and try planting it. You'll find out how complex and meticulous of an operation it can be. We all think that farming is for the illiterate, but that's not true. Today, if our bellies are full, it's because of the vital information farmers possess. I, Gaurav Mange, I'm a progressive farmer. Thank you.
So after your engineering, what was the date that you went to? Date with the what? Date with the ocean. So finally, an engineer finally found a date. Immediately he finished his graduation, but it turned out to be the ocean. And you spent how many years there?
1.5.
1.5. That's a long date. Everything worked. There isn't one single idea that I'm going to invest. I'm going to invest in multiple ideas and make all of them work. And honestly, don't we need people like that? So please put your hands together as invite on stage our very own, Mr. Amin.
Good evening, everyone. As a child, I grew up in a joint family wherein every adult would feel his responsibility as parenting. In many situations, I would be treated with instructions, and these situations made my mind think differently, particularly when I'm performing something or my involvement in some topic. And this is how, in the early age, my brain or what I felt was I used to think very differently. And on every aspect of life, in every scenario, I would have a different opinion. And later on, I could feel that this was my uniqueness. Once upon a time, when I was in a vacation with my family, I have come across a plant. You all might be knowing it now. It's an orchid plant, very difficult to grow in regions like Nizamabad. But my interest being very different and unique, I started learning about it, and that is the first time I reached out a library in Nizamabad. And I could find good information and planned it to grow in Nizamabad. And in very short period, I could how to grow it, and I even got the blooms, flowering of my energy on all the ways. And I started learning about plant everywhere. And to grow this orchid in large number, I need to have an orchidarium, a structure wherein we give a artificial or a tailored climate to grow those species of orchids. And my interest for making orchidarium was my interest for making an orchidarium was very enthusiastic, but I had a challenge of making a vent to discharge the heated air from there. And at those times, I would, when I tried buying it from a company, it was around 10,000 bucks, and my pocket would never give me that permission to spend. So I again thought with very intense interest towards making orchidarium, and could make it for just 600 rupees from a motor, a spoiled motor of a powered glass of a car. I think you got it. And that made my interest again move to, not moved, but coupled with plants and automation. So I started learning about automation, especially doing it like with a DIY method was my passion, not buying any services, but I would, I tried to do it in a DIY method with very low cost. And orchidarium, automation, this all made my interest grow into greens in a very large scenario. And I started thinking of plants and the uses in human beings or our health especially. So I made plants as medicine, as my target. How can a plant help us. And after a very long period of my journey with plants and automation and all creative things, I started giving medicines for gallbladder stone, kidney stone, and obesity, many other things, with only naturopathy, all natural elements. And I even learned making seventh day wheatgrass juice, and I challenge it to be the sweetest juice on this earth, what I make. So it's a seventh day wheatgrass juice. I learned it from Brain Hattrick from Florida. And after a long journey with plants and automation, I even found that physical activity is also very important, and came up with a badminton court with medicinal plants attached to it. Very many people said who would play badminton in Nizamabad and in a court. But I have successfully run it from last 5 years, and thousands of people have taken benefit out of it. I even hosted a flag without the pole on the ground. It was in the skies with the row strings and it was hosted in the sky. And now I am into oil for calibrating the whole body. So I have prepared some recipes for calibrating the body. And now I run a successful garment shop in Nizamabad on 1 lakh square feet of area. It's my family business, and I search for a quality food for health and sports as a activity. And I like you all to come Nizamabad and enjoy all this. Thank you so much.
He's going to walk us through his beautiful journey, which has so many learnings for him, and more importantly, truckloads of learnings for us. Rajiv, 4 minutes, all yours.
Thank you, Harish. I am Rajiv, as Harish has already introduced me. I believe in one philosophy, गिरते हैं शह सवार ही मैदान जंग में, गिरते हैं शह सवार ही मैदान जंग में, वो तिफ्ल क्या गिरे जो घुटनों के बल चले. So that's a life philosophy. If you fall, fight and proceed. My grandfather migrated from Pakistan and settled in a small town in Punjab called Pathankot. From Pathankot, my journey starts. My dad, who bloomed into a good businessman, a forest lessee, and went on to marry a lady from Delhi. I'm a second child of the couple. By the time I was 3, family was already passing through a tumultuous times because of the business losses. In spite of that, I was sent to one of the best schools in the region, and as a student, I was more interested in extracurricular rather than studies. I wasn't a good student, but yes, I was into playing basketball, baseball, doing stand-ups, everything, but studies. Then went to college, did my CA. A lot of hard work here. So did my CA, and then chose Delhi as my Karma Bhumi. In Delhi, with no hand to hold, I started my career with Ernst & Young, and then went on to start my own practice. And from no office to an office in Safdarjung Enclave, and from small accounting jobs to handling a public issue was my forte. But then life took a 360-degree turn. My brother in Pathankot needed me as he was suffering on health and business front, both. And then nursed him out of the depression and brought his business on road. It took me 7 long years. That's what brothers are for, not idiots. And then, by the time I was married and had a child, I had to look for my own future. So was looking for change and came across to G Startin Chemicals Limited. They placed me here in Nizamabad as a DGM. Nizamabad then was some 20 years behind the times. But then I adapted very fast to the city, and I have a lot of friends sitting here, and I have become one with the city. On the business front, on the professional front, when I was made the unit head, the unit was already on the verge of closure. So brick by brick, I built a team. Team spirit was instilled in my colleagues, and then brought it out of the abyss of losses. And then now we are on the road of expansion. To that extent, we are on the road of expansion. I also started one career-based magazine called Career Links. And I'm still figuring out how to make it successful by doing justice to the job in hand. And through all the ebbs and flow of life, poet, and I've got a little bit of name and fame in this region. And but the life philosophy and the motto remains: the trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in a living present. Heart within and God overhead. And my motto: woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. And whenever I sign off, I'll have no regrets. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Amun Kedia. I was born and brought up in Nizamabad. Growing up, seeing my family with stellar entrepreneurship background has inspired me to the great extent. My passion for entrepreneurship and father-like business mindset has started since my childhood. I have completed my engineering from Nizamabad. After graduation, I had a path to choose, either to stay back in Nizamabad and learn the practical aspects of business from my Tauji, Sri Pawan Kumar Ji Kedia, who has always been my only inspiration in life. The path that I choose is staying back and learning the practical aspects from my Tauji, who has been my only inspiration in Nizamabad. As a child, I was looking for my life ahead. After rice mill business, a new chapter has begun when I Sushil Kedia and my brother Punit Kedia. Then I carried the legacy forward. Within short span of time, we were able to set up the factory from scratch and scale it to the production capacity which was recognized by the government. We are the largest importer of raw material in Nizamabad. Some milestones worth mentioning are: we were featured as top 10 paper mills by Industry Outlook magazine for financial year 2022 and 23. We were also awarded as Excellence Packaging Paper Manufacturer by Times Group at ET Excellency Awards organized at Hyderabad. I was also awarded as Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2022 at Business Awards organized by Franchise India. During this phase, there were many realizations. The first thing I realized was that the Nizamabad has a great connectivity for the road and rail services, which helped me to expand the business and supply the material across pan-India. The second thing I realized that the city of Nizamabad has well diversified business culture, which played a vital role to success the paper mill. Thank you.
सभी लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार। जैसा कि आप सभी लोग जानते हैं, व्यापार अन्य व्यापार के कई दरवाजे खुलते हैं, उनमें से हमारा भी व्यापार है। जैसा अमरीश भाई ने बताया, बीड़ी के व्यापार से अमरीश भाई को सीए बना दिया और मुझे एक प्रिंटर। बीड़ी निज़ामाबाद का गढ़ है, लेकिन मेरे दादाजी ने बीड़ी से ज़्यादा बीड़ी पैकिंग करने के रैपर पे ध्यान दिया और 1958 में उन्होंने निज़ामाबाद में बीड़ी रैपर प्रिंटिंग करने की पहली मशीन डाली। 18 वर्ष की उम्र में मेरे पिताजी का अचानक स्वर्गवास होने के कारण कारोबार का, परिवार का, सभी का बोझ मेरे कंधों पे आ गिरा। भाई छोटा था, यही कारण था कि मुझे मेरी पढ़ाई अधूरी छोड़नी पड़ी। जब मैं पिताजी के प्रिंटिंग प्रेस में बैठना शुरू किया, मुझे प्रिंटिंग का पी भी नहीं पता था। मेरे पिताजी के विश्वसनीय ने और मेरे गुरु ने मुझे प्रिंटिंग के बारे में सभी कुछ बताया, सिखाया, और आज मैं उनका बहुत आभारी हूँ। जब सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा था, तरक्की मेरे साथ थी, सफलता के कदम मैं चूम रहा था, माताजी बहुत खुश थी और उन्हीं के अनुसार मेरी शादी हुई और आज 2 छोटे नटखट बेटे हैं। लेकिन एक दिन मेरे बचपन के दोस्त की मदद करने के वजह से मैंने मेरी सारी जमा पूंजी गंवा दी और मैं कर्ज में आ गया। ये मेरे ज़िंदगी का बहुत बुरा वक्त था। तभी मेरे बहुत ही अच्छे काबिल दोस्त ने टाई निज़ामाबाद से इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया। टाई निज़ामाबाद में आने के बाद मैंने बहुत से स्पीकर्स के सेशंस देखे और मुझे ये महसूस हुआ कि ज़िंदगी अभी ख़त्म नहीं हुई है और मेरे सोच को बदलने की भी ज़रूरत थी। यही एक मेन कारण था कि मैंने बीड़ी पैकिंग के अलावा कस्टमाइज प्रिंटिंग करना शुरू किया। कस्टमाइज प्रिंटिंग करने के कारण से मैंने बहुत से लोगों का प्रिंटिंग रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया है। आज कस्टमाइज प्रिंटिंग की वजह से ही मेरी अपनी खुद की प्रेस मुझे छोटी पड़ने लगी और हैदराबाद में मुझे काम बढ़ाना पड़ा। आज हैदराबाद के 2 प्रेसों में 25% काम मेरे तरफ से चल रहा है। आप अपनी तकलीफ़ों से बहुत कुछ सीखते हो। आज जब मैं पीछे मुड़ के देखता हूँ तो मुझे ज़िंदगी से कोई गिला, कोई शिकवा नहीं। आज मेरे छोटे भाई को मैंने होटल मैनेजमेंट करवाया, पीजी किया और वो उसके परिवार के साथ न्यूजीलैंड में वेल सेटल्ड है। जिंदगी में 2 बड़े झटके मिलने का गम नहीं, जिंदगी में 2 बड़े झटके मिलने का गम नहीं, ना ही जिंदगी अपनी तरह ना जी पाने का गम नहीं। आज जो भी हूँ, जहाँ भी हूँ, खुश हूँ। इसके सिर्फ 2 वजह है, एक मेरी मेहनत और दूसरा मेरा परिवार, जिसमें मेरे दोस्त भी शामिल हैं। धन्यवाद।
So I'm going to narrate a story of not me, the story of Nizamabad. So I'm not belong to Nizamabad. I born brought up in Hyderabad. My first 35 years of my life I spent in Hyderabad. So initially I want to become a photographer. It's my passion actually. So but because of parents, force and all, I entered into engineering side, where I got state and national ranks, and I did my engineering. Engineering in electronics and masters in remote sensing and GIS applications. So obviously I entered into software. For first 8 years of my life is in software. 2004, I was basically I'm a nature lover and all. So I mixed up with the software, the deadlines and all. So I resigned my job, 2004. By that time, I'm a father of 2 kids. They are going to school. So I'm completely ideal. So I got a chance to see their academics. I found some gaps are there in that. So next I thought my next field should be a school. So since I love nature and all, I chosen Nizamabad because Nizamabad is my wife's place, though my parents are from Nizamabad, but my wife's place because I frequently used to visit Nizamabad. During that time, I found a place just besides the forest. I took 4 acres of land and considered a school there. I started. Since I'm new to Nizamabad, I don't have any friends here. Since I'm a map reader, a remote sensing specialist, I used to see the satellite images, and I found the nearest places to visit, especially forest places. Since my school is just beside the forest, I used to visit that forest very regularly and saw many rare birds and species. It was a really amazing experience for me to see all these birds just near to my school. So since I was a long waiting, the photography is my passion. So at age of 48, I want to take up photography as my hobby. Since the objects are in front of me, the birds and everything, I used to shoot. Some big blow in my life. During COVID, my mother passed away. So the school is closed and I went to very big mental trauma. Now the biggest rescue for me is my photography, my wildlife. So I used to go every day from morning to evening to the forest and capture the animals and birds and all. So during that time, one forest officer visited school for her kid admission. After admission, we got a chance to exchange thoughts. Then I said, what type of protection we are taking for the black bucks of Nizamabad? It's a big surprise for him. He said immediately there is no black bucks observed in Nizamabad as per forest department. Then immediately I shown the photographs which I clicked. So it was really a surprise, and he shared those photographs in his personal WhatsApp groups. In that, other colleague IFS officers and fortunately our Harita Haram leader, MP Santosh Rao also there in that. He was seen that, he was amazed, and immediately he tweeted with my name, with the Nizamabad and black bucks. That was retweeted by again KTR Garu. Now the world knows about Nizamabad, what Nizamabad has. And I'll tell you, in India there are 25,000 black bucks are there, all under captivity, under protection. Only Nizamabad is a place where the black bucks are moving freely, and the number is more than 3,000 when I shown them. This is the biggest surprise to the world and the surprise for the wildlife lovers. So now the government is taking up and to protect them and all. During that time, I fortunate to meet the founder Kakatiya Sandbox, Raju Garu. Raju Garu came and he witnessed the place and all. Immediately he threw an idea. So we'll have a team of synergic people so that we can do something for the wildlife. So with that idea, we got the news, Nizamabad Environment and Wildlife Society, which is launched. And you are seeing the photographs which are there in that while coming. So tomorrow also we have a stall of the news there. So this is not any business, this is only a passion. This is what Nizamabad has, which is a new Nizamabad the world is looking at now. So now I have become a pure Nizamabadi. Thank you.
Right.
Flying birds.
Right. So another learning for us, don't go by the looks. Right? They don't look very agile, but they seem to be flying across the Himalayas.
Yeah.
Right.
And you never see such photographs in Google also. They are very free and moving here because they are not under captivity.
Fabulous, fabulous. So these are pictures that keep the music.
And one more thing. This is the image only found in Nizamabad because the black bucks are with the water. If you Google about the black bucks, always you will get the black bucks in the grasslands. But Nizamabad is a unique place where the black bucks are mingled with the water. This is a fantastic habitat for the black bucks.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Right. I still remember the first time I saw these pictures.
This is the landscape.
So we go with the oldest. Oh, you're the same. Okay, okay. No, it's. I think it's so difficult to come up here and speak. Kudos to all the speakers. Yeah, it's. Yeah. Yeah. it's so like I'm from Nizamabad. I'm born and brought up here. Not brought up here, but born here. And it's so fascinating to like hear the stories, and I mean they're all so very different. I mean I often think of like Bangalore and Hyderabad as a cosmopolitan, but here you can see the stories are all from all over the country and abroad. Some of the like Bharat and I think some of them came back from the other countries and settled here. I wish that it never ended. The stories continued. Little background about Thai Nizamabad is Raju introduced me to Hubli sandbox, and I started going there for about 12 years now. The first time Raju Garu took me there, and of all the fascinating things in Hubli, the one thing that really stood out for me was the Thai Hubli chapter. That's the first time I was seeing a Thai chapter outside like a tier 1 town. And it was very, very different from a Thai Bangalore or a Thai Hyderabad chapter, because it was full of energy, full of creativity, eagerness, right? I mean, when I went to Thai Hubli, they would come and ask me so many questions, which which happens to a lesser extent in Hyderabad and Bangalore and all. And it was so inspiring. And then I went back and dug the story, like how did Thai Hubli come out? And I learned that Desh has really helped set up the Hubli Thai. And that's when the seed of Thai Nizamabad was sowed in my mind. Growing up here, one of the things that I often heard in my family is whenever an uncle started a business, in my next trip there would be like 5 others who would do the same business. And my family and my uncles and etc. used to crib saying, "Yahan par to if you do something, it'll just be copied for the lack of new ideas." And I was thinking, how can it be? Like, I mean, like in Bangalore where I live, right? I mean, every day there are like so many new ideas. People want to do this, people want to create a rocket, people want to make flying cars and etc. When the world is like, with so much potential, why is that it's different here? So that was like one other thing that I thought the Thai would solve in Nizamabad. I think it's doing its job. I mean, we heard the story of Farm Chakra. We heard the stories of Bahus of Nizamabad who are so entrepreneurial, right? I mean, and there are so many state rankers in the speakers. I mean, that was very fascinating for me to learn. And we have Amin, who is the tinkerer, who is the creator, right? So I think, and you'll also see it today. Like, for example, when I came in, I was so impressed with these badges. I always would think, why can't people make reusable badges, right? Every conference that I go to in Hyderabad, even in the US, right? I see use and throw badges. I used to really feel bad about it. And you can see the difference. The nameplates here are all reusable, right? That's the of and the potential of a tier 2 town, if I may say so. And you'll discover through the day, through the evening, the menu, every small thing, right? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it is not so in the TGS, which was a global conference, right? So thanks so much for a big hand to the Thai team here, right? From starting it there and bringing till here, and even the conference theme, right? I mean, the Sangath. I have not seen a Sangath in any Thai chapters all across the world, right? I mean, they don't speak their stories. I mean, the importance of Sangath. So those are my thoughts listening to all the stories. Yeah.
A very warm welcome to all of those who came from different parts of India and also around the world. thank you. There are a lot of you out there, so it's hard to name each one of you. There's a big group from Thai Hyderabad, several of you from Bombay and Bangalore and Delhi and other places, but also many from Silicon Valley and other parts of the US. So thank you all for coming out here and listening to the stories of Nizamabad. It means a lot to us. And like Funny mentioned, the Thai Nizamabad chapter. By the way, of course, it coexists with Kakatiya Sandbox, which both Funny and I were inspired by the work that Desh and Jayashree were doing in Hubli, and that's how it all started about 9 years ago. And today I would say, Nizamabad is the smallest city anywhere in the world. What a vibrant Thai chapter it is. It's all bottom up. It's all managed, run, all built by the local community, right? All these young people, mostly in their late 20s, early 30s, almost exactly what Thai Global is trying to do now as a global organization. I'm sure Desh will have a perspective on that. So to some extent, Thai might have started in Silicon Valley and then grew in Boston, Washington, DC and some of those places. But over the last 5 to close to almost 10 years, but certainly in the last 5 years, Thai Global and the Thai chapters in Silicon Valley and Boston and other places, they've been looking at Delhi, Hyderabad, Bombay, these Thai chapters for inspiration. There's much more activity, much more vibrancy in the Thai chapters in India than the ones in US from my perspective. And I believe we are at the beginning stages of a similar phenomena. Over the next decade, the real entrepreneurs of India, if we really have to become an economic superpower, we have to build these startup ecosystems and build that culture of innovation well beyond the metros of India. And Nizamabad and Hubli, to a larger extent, are really the trailblazers in this. And Nizamabad is roughly about half the size of Hubli, right? Hubli might be about 10-12 million. Nizamabad is about, sorry, not 10-12 million, 10 to 12 lakhs. Nizamabad is about 5 to 6 lakhs population. So this is the real India. If we can build that innovation, entrepreneurship in the small towns like Nizamabad, I think India's future is very bright. So I want to give a big shout out to all the folks that built this organization. And amazing stories. When Santosh comes here and talks about it, honestly, he mentioned I went on one of those trips. So I sent pictures of that, the black bugs and all of that, to some of my friends back in California. And a few of them remarked, wow, this looks like you're in Serengeti. I thought you're in India. I said, you believe it, this really is India. It's extraordinary the kind of talent we have. I mean, he's our own little Edison in a way, right? And Nikita, what a beautiful story. There are a lot of them like that. And so thanks once again for all of those who are, especially the ones that came from out of town, and for all you folks here in Thai Nizamabad, what you're doing, you're really become, I believe you are not only building a Thai Nizamabad community, but this is going to become a model for the rest of India. And thank you all for doing that and being a part of this.
I was very impressed with the diversity of ideas and the intensity with which you're actually practicing your entrepreneurship. When Thai started going global in year 2000, we spent almost about 6 months trying to put together the charter for going global. And the fundamental concept there was to democratize entrepreneurship. And what I saw today is Thai Nizamabad actually making it real. It's taken a lot longer than we thought, but you are the pioneers. And I know we have some people here from Thai Hyderabad, and I think a lot of these bigger chapters, their core charter should be to democratize entrepreneurship, because the United Nations says that in the future we need about 7. So we need to continue to build on this in Nizamabad, but in addition to this, we need to make every student entrepreneurial, every college student entrepreneurial, because if we have to build a sustainable future economy in these tier 2 cities, we have to make everybody into entrepreneurial and several of them into entrepreneurs. And I think, as Raju said, Thai Nizamabad has a real opportunity to be a role model for all the tier 2 cities, and I want to congratulate all of you. Let's also give a big hand to our MC today because you know, he had the tough job of coming up with a joke for every entrepreneur. That isn't easy, right?
Not at all. Right? Especially when you can't see whether people are laughing at it. It makes the job all the more tougher. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fabulous having you. And thank you.
Sangath is very important for us because this is the place where we are so excited to meet entrepreneurs coming in from different places, innovators, and also we are proud to showcase our champions. So we look forward for more interactions over dinner. As Bharat said, it did took a miracle to build TiE Nizamabad. We have been very fortunate to have mentors like Raju Garu, Funny, and the access what they bring like Desh, Kanwal Reki. And the combination of TiE Nizamabad and Kakatiya Sandbox has created a lot of opportunities for us to develop the ecosystem in a sustainable way. I would like to thank our lead sponsor, State Bank of India, our co-sponsors, ICICI Bank, and all the support what we get from TiE Hyderabad. Thank you so much. I also thank the champions who shared their story over here. And this entire setup would not have been possible without the core team's support. So big round of applause for Abhishek Agrawal, Ankit Soni, Arpit Gupta, Korade, Nikita Gilda, Neerav Patel, Radhika, Ritesh Patil, Sai Charan, Sai Raj, Krishna Gilda and Vinit Gilda. I would also like to thank and appreciate all the guests who have travelled all the way to Nizamabad. We look forward for more interactions. Harish, you have been part of TiE Nizamabad family. Thank you for extracting all the lesser known facts from the champions and helping us curate the story. Charter members have been the backbone of TiE Nizamabad. To be honest, there's very little, I would say technically no additional benefit of being a charter member in a town like Nizamabad. And largely the credit goes to the charter members for sacrificing both their mental and material energy for building this ecosystem what we have today. One of the most common foundation of building relationships in Nizamabad is over food. So we look forward for building more relationships with you all over food. And I would love that this particular stage would be very small for us for a group photo. So I request all, please come forward and the photographs, the group photo can be taken from
the next 5 minutes because Shravya herself is going to be walking you along with Ajit. Are you there? Ajit, you're always there. Fabulous. So Ajit and Shravya are going to give you a tour to has a reason behind that. So please don't miss that. And a big thank you to all the guests and our TiE Hyderabad members as well. So nice to have you here. To all the guests, come to dinner and you will see all the beautiful conversations that will stem from that. So requesting all of you to come a little closer. This Thank you so much. And before they snatch the mic away from me, please do take a look at the menu. It has
to get such a cosmopolitan crowd. So amazed to hear all the stories, and I am really impressed with what TiE Nizamabad has done. This is my second visit to TiE Nizamabad. We had come here last year with the intent, hope to do much more. And sure, it's the vision of Suresh Raju that we should try and do whatever we can for the Tier 2 city. And I will surely and hope that, we will try and achieve whatever we can do. Whatever support we can do from Hyderabad, we'd love to collaborate and learn from each other. So thank you very much.
Got about 10 of you here. So thank you very much. And Suresh, you want to share any thoughts? You're the one who, I understand, initiated this within the Hyderabad.
The Global Summit in Hyderabad. I thought I saw a lot of you guys in Hyderabad. So thank you for coming to Hyderabad and being part of the Global Summit. We look forward to doing that. Rashida, myself, would like to spend 10 minutes with Desh and Raju to have some 5 action points of what we need to do. If Monica or somebody can come along with us and kind of say, you know, we want to execute this. We need somebody locally here to work very closely with us and make us also accountable for what we want to do. So the 2 things that most people want, right, generally when being part of the TIE, is mentorship and then access to capital. So I can definitely say, Rashida, that there are at least 20 charter members of Hyderabad who are willing to spend time every month, if you want 2 hours, 3 hours, with the teams here and say we can provide the mentorship and the connectivity that you need. So it's a little bit, I think, we get consumed by different things coming at us. If there is somebody here making us accountable to make those 20 charter members spend the time on mentoring, I think that will happen. Secondly, there's a lot of push from investor community also to look at tier 2 cities. So from their perspective, we can definitely arrange investor meet for the Nizamabad startups. If you tell us the date, we're happy to host Raju in Hyderabad. Or if you want to do it virtually, we can do it here and kind of make it interesting for a lot more people to participate. But if you want us to host in Hyderabad an investor meet specifically for Nizamabad and the broader ecosystem, we're happy to do that. So at least those 2 things we can offer right away. But you tell us what are the 5 things you want and we'll try and do our best to execute this year. Thank you.
But Raju's been telling about Nizamabad for the longest time and I've never been able to come here. So the development dialogue with TIE, you know, the small city has this advantage of the community feeling. And it was so palpable, so beautiful. The black buck, oh my God, I totally blown away because we started the Cuckoo Club and restored peacocks in Pilani, right? So for me, this is so special, so special. Also, all the different businesses that came together. Usually in TIE, we talk about innovations and something extraordinary, and it's usually IT driven, tech driven. So this is real brick and mortar community. You guys have built it wonderfully. I think it can only go places, and a great role model, like somebody mentioned, I think Raju mentioned, that a model that can be, I wouldn't call this rural also. This is too high class for being just called rural. So funny, full marks to that. The learning I got from today's session was the BD part. I didn't know that BD came from here. And any campus, you know, especially in Pilani, I remember all the guys, they used to have money enough. You know, we graduated sometime in 91. So ciggies was something which we've never had that much money to even buy these cigarettes. So one cigarette used to be smoked by 4 or 5 people, right? They would all have a swig. And then by the end of the month, it would only be BD. They'll not have money even for that. But I never knew those BDs came from Nizamabad. So huge. And then let me leave you with this. BD jalaile jigar se piya jigar ma badi aag hai